Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel HR Talks with Khaula, where we talk about HR, useful tips and a lot of innovative ideas as well. So today the topic of discussion is a topic that I have previously discussed as well a couple of weeks ago, and that video was my one of the most engaged videos, where a lot of people engaged with me on that video. I got a lot of comments as well, and I really had a great time in reading the opposing arguments or your point of views as well. So I really hope that this video will also encourage you to say anything that comes to your mind regarding this. And for those who are regulars for my channel, have guessed it right, I hope today's video is also somehow around quiet quitting. I would like to add and just quickly take a recap that what is quiet quitting and what kind of comments we got on the last video. So quiet quitting is when you feel that your employees in any organization or a group of employees slowly start getting very demotivated, and they start literally just doing the bare minimum to get over with their day without adding any more value or worried about their growth as well, and they're slowly quietly quitting from the organization or maybe in search of a new job as well. And that is a very risky phase that any organization can be in it, and there are a million reasons to be in that phase as well that we've discussed in the video. I have added the link in the description as well, and a lot of you have shared great comments that why is bare minimum, doing bare minimum as an employee is not enough, and if companies are not paying extra for doing extra, why do we have to do that? Now those are very fair comments, and your suggestions, I can say, or what was going on in your mind. But I would take a very neutral stance on this and say that while we really expect that employees, if are worried about their growth, should not be only doing the bare minimum, but should actually putting that extra effort, which translate into their growth, which translate into better results, and be all in. While I say that, I completely agree that the responsibility lies on both ends. So if we expect employees to go an extra mile and do something wonderful for the company other than their everyday job, then companies also have to invest in their future, in their growth, in their comparative compensation. So it has to go from both sides, hand in hand, in order to make it work. Okay, so that was a quick recap of what happened in the last video and the kind of comments that I received. And while I responded to all those comments, I have given my perspective on that. Moving on, today we are going to talk about what are the root causes of quiet quitting and what are the signs that usually even HR teams miss. And me being in the HR from 12 plus years, definitely there are some signs in there that when I was researching, I was like, oh, I missed that as well. And so let's dive right into it. So what exactly leads to quiet quitting? Trust me, it is not only about lazy employees. We all have that kind of a colleague at our workplace, but it includes so much more. For me, the most important point, or you can say point number one, would be lack of recognition. Now imagine that you're working your eyes off on a project and you have really delivered, and the project is off, and guess what, there is no communication from your line manager, from your supervisor. While we do appreciate a paycheck coming at the end of every month or bi-weekly, but if you develop a culture of recognition where a simple email of thank you, you have done this in this project, CC'd CEO as well, can do wonders for any employee. And that's when quiet quitting starts sneaking in, because when you feel you've delivered so much, you've gone an extra mile with their project deadlines, you don't look at time, you don't think 5:30, bam, I'm going to go home, you're sitting late night, and then no praise or no acknowledgement, and you wait end of the quarter or biannual for a bonus as well, employees started to get demotivated. So I really feel as HR people, we have to keep a check on these project completions, individual achievements, and make sure that these recognition, these small public praises, these small emails of thank you, definitely a pat on the back goes a long way in any employee's motivation. Point number 2, disconnect between role and purpose. Okay, picture this. You're talking to someone who has spent 6 months in the organization, and at any given point you ask that person, do you know what your role creates as an impact at the end of the business output, or the impact that the business generates overall? And that person is like, I have no idea. Now that is exactly the situation where you can make sure that disengagement is a fast track action over there, and your employees definitely disengage at this point of time. So my advice to all the HR people are, make sure during your orientation session for any position, small, huge, contractual, small, senior, junior, that person know what kind of an impact his or her job description, her job role is going to make on the overall business. And only then you can make sure that that disconnect between the job and the purpose does not goes away. Point number 3, lack of growth initiatives. I have said it again, I will say it again, God knows how many times. If an employee does not see a growth / future with you, that employee will not see a present with you. So you have to plan their growth, you have to plan their reskilling, you have to plan how they're going to stay relevant to the changing times, and do not wait till the time they are updating their LinkedIn profiles. Whereas nowadays reskilling, employee growth, providing them learning and growing opportunities is the key to keeping top talent intact in your organizations, and not letting them become part of the quiet quitting gang. So here you go, some of the real root causes of what causes quiet quitting in the organization. There are many other reasons as well, but over here we have to understand that it is not only the laziness of employees, but the whole overall environment and what the company is providing them plays a huge part in making them disengaged. But here's the silver lining. If we are able to identify these root causes, we are able to change them for our benefit as well, and ensure that employees do not fall into the pit of quiet quitting. Let's make a quick summary. So point number 1 was lack of recognition. Point number 2 of lack of growth and learning opportunities. Point number 3 was a disconnect between their job role and their purpose. So these are only 3 reasons, but there are literally so many more reasons. But as HR people, we have to make sure that we understand these reasons, identify these reasons on time, and actively and proactively, in fact, work to change this for the employees, provide that positive environment and culture where employees thrive and do not slip into this disengagement phase as well. So this is it from my side on this video. If you like this and you're new, please hit the subscribe button. For the rest of you all, I would really love to know what made you quite quit at any point of time in any of the organization. And from HR professionals, I would love to see comments where they're maybe able to tell me if they were ever able to identify any signs of quiet quitting in any employee, and what was that reason. That would really help me to understand this even better with real examples. Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and let's try to stay ahead of the curve. This is me signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.